which if you've ever taken like a course, and maybe some of you haven't, but if you've ever taken a sexual harassment course, you absolutely do not go to Tom and tell him that the way he's treating you is wrong, because that puts you in danger. You're supposed to go to HR. We'll get there. So hold on.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
So bad if you've taken a course, okay?
All
when
right.
she goes to Tom, right? When you go to
Yeah.
Tom, you go, Tom, you are behaving inappropriately to me. Tom is your manager or your lead or your boss or your CEO or someone who has power over you.
Yeah.
And if you take someone who doesn't have power, right? Nicholas can actually go into this discussion more, which is why I wanted to kind of get here in the argument.
Yeah.
Is that if you go to someone who has way more power than you in a power dynamic, like individuality and American freedom aside, in a power dynamic, if he controls the money that you bring in for your family, and if you are a woman who is a primary breadwinner, which is a lot of the cases in the games industry and honestly in some of the tech industry in general, now your family is at risk. You are yourself at risk. And it's almost like in the least case scenario, your individual person, are traumatized and at risk. That is that's the least worst case, right?
So bad, but yeah.
Right? It's terrible. Literally, like, shy from murder. Okay, the least worst case is you being traumatized for life in that scenario.
Yeah.
There is no good outcome. And that's really the heart of this matter, is that Jerry could have just said, no, I should talk to him, because he needs to recognize, right, that he has something that, you'll get thrown around the internet called privilege, but he has power. Whether he realizes or not, he has power over Tom to go, Tom, like, I might get, like, lost, but out of all the 100 engineers, right, around me, we've only ever seen 5 that identify as women, right? Yeah. And this is even worse, right, if we go into non-binary.
Oh, yeah,
right?
definitely,
It's different than putting someone who identifies as male or female and making them feel genderless, just so that we can very clear cut that line.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of nuances in this issue.